garage floor sump pit with a giant spall around it. We're going to be fixing it with 10-minute mender. Here I'm just diagnosing where the loose concrete is, trying to figure out what's bonded and what's not. Just using a classic hammer and effort. Getting all that loose stuff broken free. After getting all that loose stuff broken free, you're going to want to give it a grind with a diamond blade. In this case, you can use a wire brush and a diamond blade just to speed it up. But in this case, I'm just tickling it just to open up the pores and enough spots for the mender to bond. Here, I'm just kind of using a vacuum to keep the dust down, keeping all the dirt cleaned up. Getting all the contaminants cleaned up so the mender can actually bond. You can also cut into the concrete a bit to allow the mender to bond a little better. This is just strictly for cleaning contamination up, allowing pretty much any product you're going to use to bond, but in this case we're using 10-minute mender. After giving it a diamond blade, you're going to want to give it a quick vacuum, get all the extra dust out of there. Big rocks are okay because it acts like fill anyways. Now we're adding mender. So I didn't add the mixing part of this, but this is strictly just a filling section. So you're going to want to prime it with mender, get the concrete nice and wet. In this case, get a puddle going at the bottom, getting it nice and saturated, getting a nice wet bead on everything. And then we're going to be adding quartz, sand, or gravel to it as a fill. Clean gravel or clean quartz. Just like that, just start adding sand until the mender stops diluting through it. There we go, there's the rocks I was talking about. I'm adding rock and sand as a fill to increase the volume. Just playing with it, getting that mender to saturate through it a little quicker. And then once you get a layer where the mender appears to stop absorbing through, you add more mender. And then you continue this process until you build your designated level. Mender cures in 10 to 20 minutes. In a big spall like this, I suggest 30 minutes. And then you can grind it smooth after you build your designated level. You can also use tape to form an edge. So if you have a metal edge or a plastic edge that's missing, you can use just really good duct tape as a perimeter and then just gel the mender up with sand and clot it that way. And you can build edges. Here I'm just adding more mender to the top of the sand, and then continue adding quartz to it as we go. Continue to add gravel and mender until you get the level you desire. It's recommended to build slightly above the level you're looking for and then grind it back down to get that consistent level appearance. You can really add the fill. You can use even bigger rocks if you have a bigger hole. I like this pea gravel just because it doesn't appear in the grinding. So if I grind it later, a rock doesn't show up on me. You can see underneath my leg there that I've already finished the other two sides of the sump. We're just doing this last giant section part of the video, but pretty simple. Here I saturate it with a whole bunch of mender, and then I'm just going to be topping it with more quartz. It can't be play sand. Play sand has dirt in it. It needs to be sandblasting sand or quartz. Most tool places, even Home Depot, sells quartz. If you need mender, we sell it in pretty much any volume you require. So if you need it by the jug or the tube set, we have it in any form. And if you have questions, don't be afraid to email us and ask how to use it or where to use it. If you need basement repair, carbon fiber, epoxy, polyurethane injection, we specialize in pretty much any concrete repair. It's available. We also have contractor discounts. So if you are buying a product and you're looking for a little bit of special treatment, give us an email and we can definitely help you out. Here I'm just doing a little bit of a top on the mender, just making sure all the little holes are filled. Getting it all touched up, deciding what's level. And you can see here in the corner that I'm a little low. I'm going to be adding more quartz to that corner here in a sec. In this case, the metal was actually above grade, so I was going to be grinding it off afterwards to get the slope right so it actually drained. But that determination was made with the grinder. Because if you run grinders in a large wavy pattern, you can actually feel the levelness. without even using a level. Give this 10-20 minutes to cure and is ready to grind. Mender turns into extremely solid, almost harder than the concrete. So if you're worried about having a density issue, Mender does not have that issue. It's almost sometimes a little annoying how fast it cures, because you can have spots where you plan to scrape it off, but then it turns solid on you. So it's advised to mix small batches and know what you're going to be fixing before you start spilling it. Here I'm pretty much done repairing. It's just making sure it's all leveled out. Basically I'm reducing how much I have to grind. Here now we're grinding it. We already did the first pass, but now we're doing the finishing offs. So in this case, the mender, we're at about 20 minutes to cure time. You can see some wet spots blinking through. That's normal. It'll go away. We're just, because of the thickness, it takes longer to cure. But an aspect of this project, we weren't waiting. So we also don't have to wait. It just looks a little weird while it's curing. It's a little easier in the grinder if you let it cure solid. But in this case, it's just how thick it is. It's taking a while to cure. There you go, all finished up. If you need help, give us an email.